one of the research showed, disparity mainly comes from very few female leaders working in the field, and that causes so many of us not really progressing in their careers. Did you experience that? And what would be your lessons how to become a leader in your field?
The gender pay gap at BBC, or indeed at anywhere else, and the BBC one particularly, that was led by Samira Ahmed, who's a friend of mine, and I worked with her at BBC, and I meet her occasionally in the summers. I mean, a fabulous woman, and a very, very brave woman to bring this forward. Before that, it was Harry Gracie, who is the China correspondent at BBC, who also brought this. They put their, not necessarily their careers on the line, but they put their personal life, I think, on the line too, because when you read a lot of what was going on, one saying, well, she wasn't as good as the guy presenter and all of this. It was tough, actually, what was going on and what people were talking about there. But there's certainly, I think, and particularly in something like television, I mean, it's personality driven. So when you look at like film stars, what do you say if one gets X amount of money and the other one doesn't? And it's, you know, obviously in a place like the BBC, which is a state-funded organization, it shouldn't be as celebrity and personality driven. But it's not always going to be, you know, even in the sense that everybody comes in at this rate and everybody makes that money. But I think in most jobs, which are not personality driven, there's a skill set, there's how you perform your job, there's a range of pay base for that job, and you should definitely, without a doubt, be getting the same as your male counterpart. I think that has changed a lot over the years. I certainly think some big companies have stepped up and said it has absolutely positively changed, and whoever they will employ, they're going to pay the same rate. So less of an issue. But the trouble is, of course, there are less women, I think, going into the management fields. So sometimes you have to almost put a law in place, and you have to actually shout a bit louder and say, this will no longer be tolerated. And then things change. We all have a duty to manage our own career as well as look at the expectation from companies. We have to be 100% responsible when we take that job. And our career and our destination is very, very much up to ourselves. I do think we're going to see great change, and I think we are seeing great change among progressive companies, particularly at a leadership position. We are also, when you look at, you know, politicians around the world, we have, you know, quite a few female presidents and prime ministers, more than we've had before. We have a lot more women in cabinet. Fine, we don't have enough, but it is happening. We don't have enough women leaders, without a doubt, in corporations, but I love to see the fact that you really hear from very sincere CEOs. It's part of what they want to do, and they feel very comfortable with that, and they want to make sure that they will change the diverse mix of their companies. So it's encouraging to hear that. I do see some tremendous women coming into leadership roles within the oil and gas sector, and it is without a doubt a predominantly male-oriented industry. But then you look at actual industries like women's fashion, and it has been predominantly male-oriented for a long time. I think every industry has been led by men, and I think we sometimes forget that we're part of the process of the change. It's a societal change, it's a huge change in the world, and it's never been done before.